9 p.m. Eastern. NASCAR Throwback Special honoring Tony Stewart. NBCSN will re-air his classic 2011 championship race with an interactive watch party. There'll be NASCAR drivers, race teams, NBC Sports broadcasters, fans. They'll all interact on screen using hashtag NASCAR Throwback. And once again, here at Phoenix, the thank you Tony sign. And you see Tony Stewart out on the track, currently 11th quickest in this practice session. Tony Stewart has decided he will retire at the end of the season. It will be Clint Boyer that will take over for the 14.
I wish I had a list of all the different types of vehicles Tony Stewart has taken laps around Phoenix International Raceway in. From open wheel IndyCar style to sprint car, Silver Crown. I mean, they're you know, we talk about the NASCAR weekend out here, but this track has a rich history of different series running here. USAC. I would love to just have the rundown of all the different races. And that really, I think, is what makes Tony Stewart, in my opinion, such an amazing race car driver, is not just his success in a stock car, but really success in everything he's driven.
Tony Stewart, and back in 2011, that championship that he was able to win, the last championship, was against Carl Edwards. And I remember watching this race, and it had to have been the last 15 to 20 laps. The two of those drivers, Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards, ran 1-2 for the last 15, 20 laps, and they ran almost identical lap times every single time around that track. And I said, that's probably one of the more amazing things that we will ever see. And then it was tied. The points were tied at the end of that race. They had to go to the number of wins to determine who the champion would be.
And I think that we saw last week how emotionally draining losing that championship was to Carl Edwards. And what I mean by Jeff, we talked to Carl. We had an interview from the booth. He was in Victory Lane, and we posed the question, hey, you got to be excited to get back. And he jumped right on it. From that moment, I have been looking forward to get this opportunity again. And while he never, that I know of, publicly said anything about it, but it had to be emotionally draining to be that close.
I spent a few minutes with him on Tuesday this week, and I'm telling you, it was hard to ignore the enthusiasm, the confidence. I mean, he is completely convinced that they can go to Homestead and win a championship. He claims they had a great test down there. He said, as you said, been waiting since then. And, I mean, he convinced me. He had that look in his eye. He had that spring in his step. And he is convinced that they have a great shot. Maybe the favorite. That's what he's convinced of.
Maybe he had the spring in his step because he didn't do the backflip at the end, and he was saving that spring so that he could give it to everyone at Miami. Marty.
No doubt winning puts a spring in your step, and Carl Edwards practicing here at Phoenix, a little bit lighter after that big win in Texas last week. Here's what he and Dave Rogers had to say on the radio a moment ago.
That was a good lap. I wanted 70 to be honest with you. Coming to for laps. I mean, if I just look at the graphs, these are faster than everyone else, but 4 laps ago they were running 70, so I'm greedy.
No, crew chiefs are never greedy, are they? But on this last couple runs, Carl said that the car seems to be very tight, and they can't really track down why it's tight. And also, Jeff, he also said on this last run, he said he felt like he had a little bit of rear brake shake as well. Maybe you can explain that, and I know that's a feeling you drivers don't like inside the race car.
Yeah, rear brake shake would be very uncomfortable. We see a lot of front brake shake where you just don't have the temperatures right, and maybe you've cooled them too much, and they actually will shake and vibrate. It doesn't feel good, but you can kind of drive through it. But a rear brake shake could be very problematic because when the rear wheels, you put any sort of hop, any sort of movement in the rear wheels that you don't want, that is unsettling. The car really drives poorly, so rear brake shake is not an option.
It's pretty tight there in the garage. Last week, Carl Edwards was able to put his name into the championship 4 slot. As a matter of fact, he said, maybe I should just put it over here to start with.